My name's Laurel Papworth, and I thought I'd go through with you how AI can help and will help in the future with the stock market and investment. I'm going to stick in my stream, which is about AI, and you can apply it, the structured prompt and the scaffolding, to any sector that you're interested in. And it's not about investment. This is about how to work with AI as a thinking partner. So a lot of people would ask AI, there's a lot of talk about AI at the moment. What stock should I invest in? And AI will do what every, financial paper will do, financial media or any analyst article, anything like that. It will go with the headlines and it will use what's called directional signals for trends. What are the trends in investing in AI? And it's going to come back and say, Nvidia, very popular. And the thing with the market is that it's a shared narrative. So as the narrative moves towards Nvidia, it becomes self-fulfilling. And then once the tide turns and it moves away, same thing. So a directional signal is a trend. Tell me what's obvious. Tell me what the media is talking about. Tell me what the analysts are talking about. That sort of thing. If you don't frame it within an analysis, if you don't frame it within analysts and media commentary, then it's difficult to move on to the next parts, which we're going to do now. So the second question that I would ask once it had come up with, Nvidia and maybe Cisco for their quantum computing networking stuff, is called needle facts. And if directional signals is tell me what the bleeding obvious is, then needle facts would be tell me the stuff I'm not thinking about. Tell me the stuff that isn't clearly stated but can be inferred. Tell me the stuff that doesn't really appear except as a footnote in an addendum. Like, what am I missing? What's being missed here? And this is where you find the little gems. So in the terms of AI, you might ask for something that's second or third level. What specific non-visible structural dependencies are there that I could invest in? For example, which glass, ceramics, materials, specialty materials provide like the fabrication material. So it's not the rare earth minerals, it's the next level on. It's the little thing that goes into a chip, that goes onto a card, that goes into a machine, that goes into a data center, that becomes AI later on. There's a company in Japan that makes like a Glad wrap, a Saran wrap, and all of Nvidia chips use it. So they're a supplier, a vendor to Nvidia. So there's a flow-on effect. If Nvidia is doing well, these guys will do well as well. And in fact, I think they're fully sold out for the next 2 years. And they have a wait list. So does the company that makes the cleaning fluid for the chips. So does another company, Toto, that makes bidets. And they also make something else to do with fabrications. So once you've got directional signals, which is the framing of the main shift towards Nvidia or Cisco or something like that, and then you have needle facts, which are, there's this substrata of an ecosystem of smaller companies that are doing extremely well. The next question is, what is the options base for the next 3 to 5 years? So we build our story, our narrative, the human narrative, on prior information. And so does AI. AI uses tokens and data sets and stuff like that to build its story out. So the option space, which is the third one, is going to be looking at a tree of thoughts style prompt as opposed to chain of thoughts. You're used to chain of thoughts. That's tell me step by step how to get from here to here, step by step by step. Tree of thoughts are give me the options. It's an if this then that type of scenario where you're running along the branches saying, what if Nvidia fails and it's a bubble? What if utilities become overly regulated? What if this happens? What if that happens? And the AI's brain is big enough to hold all that stuff if you articulate the scaffolding of the prompt correctly. So what are the realistic scenarios that could unfold in the next 3 to 5 years? What if fab construction slows down? What if geopolitical changes around regulations and tariffs and things like that impact these Japanese and Taiwanese companies that are making the bits and bobs that go into American, European, and Australian data centers? And what if there is a continued AI capex surge, or there isn't? So it knows to start to play with the weighting, and you're effectively using options-based to create tension, because AI doesn't hold tension, humans do. So we're creating a liminal space for the AI to hold tension and then to think through, oh, what if this happens? And then the fourth one is testing. I wish the people that pitch stuff to me would put this through their pitches through the testing mechanism. But what if I'm wrong? What if I've got a basic assumption wrong? What if I'm missing something critical that should be in here? What if things change dramatically? What would invalidate my hypothesis that the substrata glass and ceramic companies that support AI will have a boom? What if the AI cycle cools? I'm not saying we head into another winter or bust, but what if for one reason or another everybody starts to back off, gets a bit of cold feet? You know, it happens. It tends not to happen too much in emergent tech. A lot of people talk about it. By the time there is the backing off, it's so truly ingrained that the market has stabilized. But testing your hypothesis and telling the AI to not support you, but to give you critiques and criticism, be gentle with me though, is really super useful. I would tell the model to keep each of those 4 sections separate. The directional signal, which is the headline stuff, the needle facts, which are the little known gems, the option space, which is the if this then that tree of thoughts kind of scenario building, and the 4th one, which is testing. I would say definitely keep them separate. We really want to go from trend noise to structural substrate to scenario building to testing our hypotheses, so that we're not just saying, I don't know, I got a bit of pocket money, what should I invest in? And we're moving towards a much more risk-averse foundational strategy. On one last note, I just want to remind people that Warren Buffett said he wouldn't invest in any industry that he didn't understand fully. I think he said that and airlines, but that if he didn't understand the industry, he wouldn't invest. And I understand that. I probably even agree with him. But if you use AI as a thinking partner rather than as a stock prediction oracle, the Delphic oracle of stock markets, it will help you think through and understand better what you are investing in and what the risk assessments are, what the salience is of the headlines, all of that kind of stuff. So anyway, I hope you found it useful, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, bye.